what?
No, sir.
Do you know whom I saw last night?
No, sir.
J. Washburn Stoker and his daughter Pauline.
Indeed, sir.
They must be over here.
It would seem so, sir.
Awkward, what?
I can conceive that after what occurred in New York, it might be distressing for you to encounter Miss Stoker, sir, but I fancy the contingency need scarcely arise.
I weighed this. When you start talking about contingencies arising, Jeeves, the brain seems to flicker, and I rather miss the gist. Do you mean that I ought to be able to keep out of her way?
Yes, sir.
Avoid her?
Yes, sir.
I played 5 bars of Old Man River with something of abandon. His pronouncement had eased my mind. I followed his reasoning. After all, London's a large place. Quite simple not to run into people if you don't want to. It gave me rather a shock, though.
I can readily imagine so, sir.
Accentuated by the fact that they were accompanied by Sir Roderick Glossop.
Indeed, sir?
Yes, it was at the Savoy Grill. They were putting on the nosebag together at a table by the window. And here's rather a rummy thing, Jeeves. The 4th member of the party was Lord Chuffington's Aunt Myrtle. What would she be doing in that gang?
Possibly her ladyship is an acquaintance either of Mr. Stoker, Miss Stoker, or Sir Roderick, sir.
Yes, that may be so. Yes, that might account for it. But it surprised me, I confess.
Did you enter into conversation with them, sir?
Who, me? No, Jeeves, I was out of the room like a streak. Apart from wishing to dodge the Stokers, can you see me wantonly and deliberately going and chatting with old Glossop?
Certainly he's never proved a very congenial companion in the past, sir.
If there's one man in the world I hope never to exchange speech with again, it's that old crumb.
I forgot to mention, sir, that Sir Roderick called to see you this morning.
What?
Yes, sir.
He called to see me?
Yes, sir.
After what has passed between us?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm dashed.
Yes, sir. I informed him that you had not yet risen, and he said that he would return later.
He did he? I laughed, one of those sardonic ones. Well, when he does, set the dog on him.
We have no dog, sir.
Then step down to the flat below and borrow Mrs. Tinkler Moulk's Pomeranian. Paying social calls after the way he behaved in New York. I never heard of such a thing. Did you ever hear of such a thing, Jeeves?
I confess that in the circumstances his advent occasioned me a surprise, sir.
I should think it did. Good Lord! Good heavens! Good gosh! The man must have the crust of a rhinoceros. And when I have given you the inside story, I think you'll agree with me that my heat was justified. Let me marshal my facts and go to it. About 3 months before, noting a certain liveliness in my Aunt Agatha, I had deemed it prudent to pop across to New York for a space to give her time to blow over. And about halfway through my first week there, in the course of a beano of some description at the Sherry Netherland, I made the acquaintance of Pauline Stoker. She got right in amongst me. Her beauty maddened me like wine. Jeeves, I recollect saying on returning to the apartment, who was the fellow who on looking at something felt like somebody looking at something? I learnt the passage at school, but it has escaped me.
I fancy the individual you have in mind, sir, is the poet Keats, who compared his emotions on first reading Chapman's Homer to those of stout Cortes when with eagle eyes he stared at the Pacific.
The Pacific, eh?
Yes, sir, and all his men looked at each other with a wild surmise, silent upon a peak in Darien.
Of course, it all comes back to me. Well, that's how I felt this afternoon on being introduced to Miss Pauline Stoker. Press the trousers with special care tonight, Jeeves. I am dining with her. In New York, I've always found, one gets off the mark quickly in matters of the heart. This, I believe, is due to something in the air. 2 weeks later, I proposed to Pauline. She accepted me. So far, so good. But mark the sequel. Scarcely 48 hours after that, a monkey wrench was bunged into the machinery and the whole thing was off. The hand that flung that monkey wrench was the hand of Sir Roderick Glossop. In these memoirs of mine, as you may recall, I've had occasion to make somewhat frequent mention of this old pot of poison, a bald-domed, bushy-browed blighter, ostensibly a nerve specialist, but in reality, as everybody knows, nothing more nor less than a high-priced loony doctor.